Hey, what's going on, fellow captains? It's Muse. So, we have a tactical discussion here today of how to protect yourself when you are in an engagement with multiple ships. So, this came from Brawl. These tactics can be applied any mode, any class, any map, and kind of really vital to understand to save your HP. So yeah, this was in Brawl, but it just happened to be a perfect scenario for having this discussion. As soon as I had this battle, I was like, yeah, I'm clipping that because tactically that was perfect. So you can see these two guys go for this gap on the alpha side. I'm a bigger ship. I am going to come in behind them. I don't want to be the initial shell catcher. So I'm going to let them go get spots, do that sort of thing, especially that Scherberg has a very low detectability. He can definitely spot. And as you can see, two ships pop up right there. We're going to break down their position here in just a moment. Now, we're in this choke point. There's only one angle here, unless they go really wide around these islands and come in behind us. There's only one angle for these guys to fire at us as long as you're in this choke point. So I'm going to stay in the choke point, and that's why I'm going to end up winning the fight. These guys are going to push out, and they're going to get beat up pretty bad. Yeah, so let's take a look at this real quick. Here's the Scherberg up in the lead. And so as long as he's in this choke point, there's only one angle they can really fire at him from. The moment he comes out of this choke point, he's got multiple angles to defend. You can see it right there. There's two different angles he has to defend. Right now, that Bagration has no shots as long as that island is there. The moment he comes out, he's got to defend against Bagration and that Hipper. He's going to turn into the Bagration to defend from the Bagration, and the Hipper is going to slap him. And you're about to see that here right now. And there it is. Hipper just slaps a taste out of his mouth. He's going to turn even more to this Bagration. Try to defend him with the bow, and yeah, Hipper's just going to farm him because he's giving up multiple angles to the enemy, whereas as long as you stay in this choke point, they only have one angle to fire from, regardless of how many there are. It gives you a much better chance to defend and use your armor effectively. So third ship pops up. Now you can see there's three different fire angles. Bagration should be doing the same thing, just staying in this choke point, but he gets antsy and he decides he's going to push out and go fight them, and he gets erased as fast as Scherberg does. Not a good deal. Not a good deal. Anytime you can get isolated, the whole reason I end up winning this fight is rather than go out there and fight a 1-on-3, I'm going to sit back and I'm going to create three different 1v1s. And that's why I'm able to pull out the win on this, is the fact that I'm not fighting a 1v3, I'm fighting three different 1v1s. So, there goes Bagration, I'm by myself, against three. Again, three different angles I have to defend here, but I'm using the terrain. I'm isolating these fights. And that's huge. I don't care if it's standard mode, I don't care if it's Brawl, I don't care if you're in a DD, a battleship, a cruiser. Isolating fights when you're in an engagement with multiple ships is huge. So Hipper's going to come out here. I do give him a big shot here, but I really needed to bait these torps out of him. I'd much rather take the big hit off his guns, one salvo, than take 6 torps. Just is what it is. I had to sacrifice some HP to be able to make this dodge. I needed him to send those torps where he sent those torps. That was my only chance of surviving all that. So yeah, now he's out of here. Bagration's going to come out. And again, I'm taking the isolated fight. I'm not fighting, everybody all at once. Amalfi has no angle. He's shooting at the same thing Bagration's shooting at. He doesn't have my broadside. Hipper didn't have my broad. Well, Hipper did have my broadside initially, but that was only because how close he was, and I knew he had torps. But we're creating isolated fights rather than going out and just giving them those three angles to where I have to give broadside to somebody. they've all had to pretty much shoot at my bow except for the Hipper, and the Hipper was only because of the torps. But this is using the terrain, and I can't stress how important it is when you're in a situation where you're outnumbered to isolate that. I do it in DDs all the time when I'm going against an enemy DD. Rather than go out and engage him in front of his support, I isolate him. I wait till he's somewhere where his supports don't have shots, and that's when I mug him. And that's what I'm doing to these guys here. I'm creating isolated fights. 3 different 1v1s rather than a 1v3. Where they can sit and, no matter who I defend, somebody's got a broadside on me. So that down goes the bag ration. Moffley's going to come around this corner. He's going to come around broadside. These guys got really confident because, it was 3v1. And it cost them. He takes a massive hit right there. Next salvo, we're going to finish him off. So yeah, isolated fights are huge. That's all I have for you. Good hunting, fair seas, captains. I will catch you next time.